7 cities built.
By JT.
Actually, you know, 3-year All-American in college, win a championship, Rock and Jock Hall of Fame, and I got to deal with this one.
I can feel it in my heart and up through my bones. I can't take it anymore. I got a basketball Jones.
And they say Dennis Rodman has problems. This guy's ready to get a break.
Basketball fans, get ready for this. It's inside the NBA. I can feel it in my heart and all up to my bones. I can't take it anymore. I got a basketball Jones. And yes, I am a fan. I like to watch it to play. I'm getting ready for my show inside the NBA. Now they got all the stories, all the highlights and slams, and they got players interviews for a basketball fan. Are you ready? It's inside the NBA. I'm getting ready. It's inside the NBA.
And you can look for my complete collection of NBA hits. It's not sold in stores, but stand by on this program for complete ordering information. Me, Slim Whitman, Engelbert Humperdinck, the whole bit. In the words of Manu Pole, that's Rick Mahorn, the pride of the New Jersey Nets with us tonight. Rick, thanks for sticking around.
Hey, thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
And what do you think, Bad Boy Revisited? We had a good game tonight.
Yes, it was. It was very exciting. I mean, three-pointers out of the air. I mean, they shoot like I do.
More on that in a minute, Rick. Hold that thought. Let's get right to the game tonight. Good news for Houston tonight. The good news, well, it couldn't get any worse. Their game one shellacking at the hands of the Sonics. That was one for the ages. Buried by 33 points, a team record for punishment. Akeem held to a personal playoff low of 6 points. As Rockets go, these were the bottle variety. So what would happen in Game 2 at Key Arena? Would the resilient Rockets bounce back? As Rick said, this was quite a show. Also, that's quite a piece of hardware there for Gary Payton, named NBA Defensive Player of the Year. There's Kenny Smith, the dish to Chucky Brown scoring underneath. Houston with the early 2-point lead. Payton, defense, they go together. Stealing Olajuwon's pass, he's going to go in, fouled by Ori as well. The game was tied up in the first. Now to the third. This is where it got crazy. They're shooting from all over. Detlef Schrempf a three-pointer. Robert Ori answers with a tray. More three-pointers. Kenny Smith, Percy Hawkins. The Hawk knocks that one down. It turned into a three-point exhibition. Then Mario Ellie, what a good look here. Driving to the basket there. 103-101, Seattle in front. Down by 2. This is a Rocket possession. There's your Defensive Player of the Year again. Gary Payton harassing the dream, stealing it, and he shows the glove. That's the glove, and that was the difference in the game as the Sonics win 105-101. And they lead the series now 2-0. Schrempf at 21, Payton 18, McMillan 15, 5 of 5 from three-point range. Drexler 19 and Akeem 17. The Sonics won 11 straight now over the Rockets. Game 3 shifts to the Summit on Friday night. Remember this, though. The Rockets, 4 years in a row now, down 0-2 in semifinal play. They came back to beat Phoenix the last 2 years. The year before that, though, they lost to Seattle in 7 games. Perhaps an omen. Now the three-point feast we were talking about. Seattle with the most three-pointers in a game, playoff or otherwise. 20 of 27 tonight. We see the Houston Rockets. They've been involved in a lot of these games. In fact, all the rest. And their 13 of 27 tonight keeps them in the record books as we count it down. So a three-point barrage, and it's the Sonics coming out on top. And Rick, you mentioned three-point shooting. Career 5 of 37 you are from three-point range. That's a nifty 14%. So our stats crew, you know,
they're
really all over it.
Good. They went to the book for
surprised at all? Not that I pulled out that stat, but that they shot it up like this, and really maybe not to Houston's advantage.
Well, Houston is a good three-point shooter. That's one of their weapons that they have out there. But Seattle, in turn, was shooting the ball very well tonight. I mean, they walked out of the locker room and said, I'm going to shoot a three from here.
All right, now let's move on the inside, from inside the arc here, and that's our inside look at the game, the Sonics and the Rockets. And you know how in Game 1, the Sonics swarmed Akeem. He was held at 9 shots and just 6 points. Rick, what kind of job did they do against it tonight?
Well, tonight, when they double-teamed him, he was right down there looking for the man to come trap. So Seattle did trap and got the turnover. At the next possession, he saw Cutting Drexler coming to the basket for the easy lay-in. And then as he reestablishes the post, the man gets there too late to do that, and what it results in is a team getting the 2 points.
just a good all-around job. Now, let's talk about the Houston Rockets. And as I mentioned, they've been down 0-2 in a semifinal series before. What do you think their mindset is now as two-time defending champs as they go home in this hole?
Well, they bounced back from coming from that 33-point loss just a couple of days ago. For them to go back there and establish themselves to get a win at home, that's going to be very important. They have to protect their home so they can carry this to a 7-game series.
But a pretty classy team, and there's no panic with that team, is there?
No, it isn't. They're all professionals, true professionals. Everybody has to respect to see them walk on the court. What they did tonight, they showed that they had the heart of the lion to come back and perform well tonight.
Okay, let's move on now, and it's time for the AutoZone News of the Day. It involves the basketball shrine, and it involves some of the greatest players of all time, inducted into the Springfield, Massachusetts Hall of Fame. On this Monday, the newest basketball Hall of Famers took their place among the all-time greats. The inductees included the Iceman, George Gervin, who won 4 NBA scoring titles using the signature finger roll, as well as David Thompson's in there, he of the 44-inch vertical leap. Also, Gail Goodrich, the great Laker guard, UCLA guard, George Bird Yardley, Olympic medalist Nancy Lieberman-Klein, and the late Yugoslav star Vesemir Kosic. Inductees now number 215 people and 4 teams, all in Springfield, where James Naismith invented the game more than 104 years ago, during Rick's rookie year. I was just kidding, big man.
You know.
I was just kidding, big.
Oh, okay.
We got a lot of show to do. Wait a minute.
Okay.
All right, there's much more ahead on Inside the NBA, including Rick's old pal, Dennis Rodman. I'm no makeup expert, but I'll tell you what. I'd have to say that for Dennis, the tip here is less eyeshadow. That would be a good start. Word on his look and his world and maybe his NBA title. Nice bowler, by the way.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
Too hot in your car? Don't sweat it. Now at Pep Boys, get a cool deal on our air conditioning quick check for only $19.99. Our AC quick check only $19.99. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Gravity by Foot Locker. Of all the laws of nature, you are my least favorite.
It's not your fault you exist, but gravity.
You are no friend of mine.
You do not belong in my house,
My
though
house.
you show up every morning.
I defy you, Gravity. You are not my obstacle.
That grin you see, that's me knowing I will beat you.
If only for an
Even
instant.
if it's just for an instant.
Foot Locker, where it all begins and gravity ends.
So what's the big surprise?
Knicks tickets.
American Express? I got a little proposition. Whoa! Hey, you got my ticket! Think again, my friend. Oh, there!
American Express, the official card of the NBA.
I'd have gone to the moon for these.
Tell me about it.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is the place with the helpful hardware folks.
Boys, I'm tired of being a cowboy. The open range, driving cattle, no longer excite me. He's gone loco. I want to drive the open lane. I want to set the pig. Boys, I'm joining the NBA!
Start with a T-shirt. Work on the Nova.
I know they look funny with shorts, but they really help my vertical.
Picked off by Scott. 3-on-2. Alford gives it the slam. Oh, yeah. This is incredible. Welcome to the playoffs.
He wanted no restrictions. He doesn't want shirts on. He doesn't want shoes, containment, none of those kinds of things.
Underwear?
No, he wants to do his thing, and it gets in the way sometimes.
But you like him.
Yeah, I love him. I love him. I love him.
Today on the Oprah Winfrey Show, Chicago loves Dennis too, and he's a former teammate of yours, obviously, the bad boy days. You played on the title team with him in '89, but what's with the Dennis Rodman of today as opposed to those of the days? Just an exaggerated version?
It's an exaggerated version, but, I mean, back then, he was, you know, a little bit more straight-laced, but right now, he's enjoying it. I mean, he's taking it to another level. but he's always the guy that comes on 82 games. He's working hard, and he always has a pail and a bucket. He's ready to go for work.
Workmanlike all the time. He was a real great role player for the Piston teams, and he knows his role with this team. He's fit right in. He's the missing component they needed.
Yeah, after they got rid of Horace, Horace Grant went to free agency, and then they acquired Dennis in a trade, that's just going to bring them to another level. Look, they got the best record ever in the NBA.
What do you think about the get-up there for the book signing?
I might have to try a bow on myself, and pink might not be my color, though.
Whatever.
Might be yours, though.
All right, it's going to be that way now. Okay.
Yeah, the whole night.
All right, the whole night long. We got 3 nights of this. In fact, game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals is in the books. Mike's back hurt, but the Knicks felt the pain, and it's 44 points in a 91-84 victory. All right, still an injured Jordan was too much for several Knicks players assigned to guard him. Game 2 is Tuesday on TNT. Our Craig Sager brings us up to speed in Chicago.
We're not used to Superman being human, and just the thought of Michael Jordan grimacing in discomfort with back pain and those from Gotham City ready to seize the opportunity. But if Jordan's back was bothering him, you couldn't tell on Sunday.
I didn't want to come out looking hurt, by no means. I feel when they see you bleed, they're going to try to go for the blood, more blood. So, I want to come out and look healthy and take some of the focus away from my back.
Jordan scored 44, and the Bulls needed every one of them. None more so than a driving layup over Patrick Ewing after the Knicks had cut the lead to 4 in the final 3 minutes.
I felt going to my right, I could beat him and get to the hole and make Patrick either block the shot or try to draw a charge to get to the hole or draw a foul, something. And I saw a clear lane and I took it.
He saw a gap and was able to get right down the lane. That's too easy of a shot, I think, with the game on the line, and that's one of the things that we have to limit is the easy shots that they're able to get on us.
I should have stepped up a little quicker. I didn't think it was going to go all the way, and he did.
Any speculation that the Bulls' trip to the finals would ride down easy street have been laid to rest. The second collision is tomorrow, and the Knicks feel confident they can knock the Bulls off course.
It's just one game, simply as that. They up 1-0 now. Game 2 is on Tuesday. We're going to go work on some things and prepare for the game come Tuesday.
But Michael Jordan's self-imposed job description is to win. It's engraved in granite. The best there ever was, the best there ever will be. As the Knicks learn in Game 1 on Sunday, you don't tug on Superman's cape.
You don't spit into the wind. You know that one.
Yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, that's impressive when you got a statue outside. Before we get to Michael Jordan, I want to talk about a battle of the big men. It's Oakley versus Rodman, and really in playoff basketball, what it's all about. And we can illustrate this with some video as well, and just how much physicality, to use Dick Versace's word, comes into play, Rick.
It's a dogfight. I mean, every night you have to come in and play hard. Basketball is played on the East Coast like a street game. I mean, it's like, you're on my turf, I can't let you come in here and make this layup. I mean, you can see the wide open layup that Jordan had. It just showed that Pat could have stepped up and not let him make those easy baskets.
When you played Jordan and with the Pistons, did you have a certain way you guys were going to play him? Why were you successful?
Yeah, we had Joe Dumars. No, we were all committed defensively to make sure that Jordan went one way. We made sure that he was going to beat us going to his left. And then we were going to have a student body 5 just come over there and meet him. And if it was going to be an easy basket, we were going to make him pay for it a little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
All right. Now, again, it's the inside look at what we're talking about here. And this is the Oakley and Rodman matchup. And I think we have some video here to illustrate this. And, the thing is, Dennis chose to wear that hat. But Charles Oakley really didn't want to wear the mask. But that's, I guess, that's
Yeah. Right now, with the Oakley and Rodman they're doing right now is just establishing themselves in the inside and showing whose basket is this going to be. And once you let somebody come in your house at this point, he went in there and took the ball and stole it and got the easy land. But it's always going to be physical play, so you get bumped and elbowed and things like that. I mean, it's like...
and they let that go.
Well, it's like hockey without the pads and the stick.
That's rough stuff. There's a lot of body being thrown around there, too. Game 2, what do you think happened here? The Knicks really shouldn't probably change that much. They played pretty well.
No, it's just they need to execute the ball a little bit down at the end of the game. I mean, execution at the end of the game is more important than execution at the beginning. It magnifies 10 times when it's in the playoffs, and when you're throwing the ball away and you can't get a good shot, things happen.
Okay, things do happen. Smith's happened. Sometimes. That was a saying from when the Pacers were still alive. Right now, we want to go back to Key Arena in Seattle. 105-101. The Sonics take a 2-game-to-none lead over the Rockets. Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly are talking to Sean Kemp. Fellas?
Thanks, Vince. And we're here with Sean Kemp. 17 points, 10 rebounds. But the biggest thing you did tonight was what down the stretch?
Oh, the free throws, they definitely helped us out at the end. And I think the rebounding. I think, my main job and concern this series is going to be the rebounding. I think for us to go on and to improve, when the series get close, it's going to come down to rebounding, the extra shots at the end of the game, and I think that's where I play a big part of it.
Also the execution on both ends, defensively and offensively. You went to money on the offensive, got Gary involved in the pick and roll. He made two or three good decisions, and then defensively, you get the steal on the other end.
I think so. I think we're playing smart. We've talked a lot about getting the ball to the right people at the end of the games. If a double team comes, kick it out for that open jump shot. If you can't hit the jump shot, then drive the ball with penetration and look for the guy on the opposite wing. And it's working out well for us.
And Sean, besides the free throws, of course, the steal and a critical one. Why don't you tell us about it with Hakeem in the low post?
Well, the thing with Hakeem is you just want to, I try to give him one way to go. He's such a good offensive player that you don't know exactly what he's going to do. And we're trying to force him to shoot that turnaround jump shot over there with pressure. And that was just, it was a little luck. And I think just the execution, it worked out fine for us.
It'll be interesting to see how your confidence is when you go into the Lair, where a club is so confident that they can win 2 games at home.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think the thing we're going to have to do is come out and play with the same intensity and, like I said, rebounding. Because when they're at home, it seems like they get a lot more offensive rebounding. And we know they can hit the three-pointers there at their building. So we got our work cut out for us. It looks good right now. But like I said, we struggled the last 2 years, Chuck, and we're not going to lay down right now. We're just going to try to work and stay into it.
All right, so the Sonics brimming with confidence. Congratulations, Sean. 2-0, Seattle over Houston. That's the story from here right now. Let's send it back to Vince Celinni.
All right, thank you, Dick Stockton and Chuck Daly. And again, 2-0, the Sonics lead Game 3 Friday night at the Summit in Houston. We have to take a break right now, but we'll be back and talk about the Miller family. Only one left in postseason now, and that's Cheryl. Coming up, Reggie's back in uniform on Sunday, but for only a day. We'll look back at the Pacers and Hawks and a surprise at Market Square Arena.
Hungry? Eat 'em up.
Eat 'em up, hungry, hungry.
Why wait?
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Wrangler jeans have always been worn by cowboys. But nowadays, even horses wear them. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Wrangler, the perfect jean for your 10-year-old son. And your 10-year-old husband. Wrangler, real, comfortable jeans.
Who says there's no such thing as a free lunch? Right now, when you order any Cox pay-per-view movie for only $3.95, you'll also get a coupon good for 1 free Arby's regular roast beef combo meal. Part of the proceeds benefits the William A. Hunton YMCA in Norfolk. So order a $3.95 Cox pay-per-view movie today to help the Hunton YMCA, and we'll give you a free lunch from Arby's. Sponsored by Cox Pay-Per-View, Arby's, Pepsi, Belo, and GTE MobileNet.
The game of golf teaches a great lesson. To finish the game, you have to accept and overcome unexpected obstacles. At the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters, our kids understand life's lessons all too well. On July 18th and 19th, the Broad Bay Country Club in Virginia Beach will be hosting the Kids Play for Kids Junior Golf Tournament, ages 8 to 18, presented by the Circle of Hearts of the Norfolk City Union of the King's Daughters. Your financial support can help because overcoming obstacles is what life, like golf, is all about.
They did all the little things that we didn't do tonight. They came up with big plays while we didn't. It hurts. It doesn't matter if you're playing or watching. Losing's no fun. I'm sure it's not fun for the fans watching, especially at home.
Reggie Miller back by Steve Miller Band. I'm sure this wasn't Reggie's vision of a Game 5. He had 29 points in 31 minutes. As you saw him take the floor yesterday, what were your thoughts? This guy playing hurt.
It was nice to see a guy come back and just try to get in there for his team, and that shows that he was very admirable to do that. But sometimes it throws the balance off on your team also, which, I mean, he came out there and played hard. But see, a lot of teams they like playing with their star player, not to put that much pressure on them. And see, when you have your star player there, you want to go through him into the game, and they were playing 4 games without him.
That's a good point. But now the Atlanta Hawks moving on. And what was it Coach Lenny Wilkins called his Atlanta Hawks? America's guests, making themselves at home yesterday at Indianapolis. Atlanta wins. Orlando's next for them. Kevin Kiley leads the Hawk Talk discussion group now.
Reggie Miller surprised the Atlanta Hawks, bouncing back from an eye injury and scoring 29 points, coming up very big in Game 5 of their Round 1 series. But it was the Atlanta Hawks that surprised the Pacers and the rest of the country as they win the deciding game here at Market Square Arena. And it'll be the Hawks advancing to Round 2 against the Orlando Magic.
Sometimes you can't even verbalize what people say or what they think. It's just being able to go out and have fun in the court and play the game of basketball. And that's the important thing. And I think we really came out and enjoyed this ball game tonight.
I knew once I joined the Hawks that they were going to make the playoffs, and then, it all comes down to what you do in the playoffs, how many games you can win, and how well you play. And, we might have stole one here. We came in and played real well, and we won this series, so let's see what happens in the next series.
I think we always had the confidence that we were going to win. We let Game 4 slip away when we couldn't make a shot, and I think to give ourselves 2 games to win one, we put ourselves in that situation to come here and get a win.
Everybody is quick to count us out or forget us because we beat them twice this year. Everyone forgets that, But I know it's playoff time, and we're going to step up just like everybody else steps up.
Well, the Hawk Magic series, there's a Zuzu look ahead. It starts Wednesday at the O-Arena, and, really pretty even. The season series, 2-2, each winning on the home floor twice. Shaq missed Game 1 with a bad thumb. In a game of note, 3D, Dennis Scott, in an April 18th win in Orlando, set an NBA record with 11 3-pointers. But Rick, as you look at this series, Atlanta seemingly overmatched in every department. Leitner did a pretty nice job on Smith. Shaq is another story.
Oh, Shaq is huge. I mean, you got to figure the guy is 7'1" and 300 pounds. It's a lot of man.
What can they do otherwise? And maybe a Mookie Blaylock on a Penny Hardaway. Mookie's very active defensively. He gets a lot of steals. He can maybe be disruptive.
Very, very good defensive player. But I just think, Orlando is so strong. And they have bench strength, which is coming out there with Brian Shaw coming off the bench. I mean, you got to look at it. If you look at the record, it might be Orlando. But if you look at it, Atlanta doesn't have anything to lose.
That is a good point. So they can play loose and just go out there and let it go. All right, now this from Lexington, Kentucky, and more kids coming out to play. Walker making the jump. Kentucky's Antoine Walker, 6'8" forward, averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds a game for the NCAA champion Cats. Announcing Monday he'll forego his last 2 years with Kentucky, enter the June draft. His coach Rick Pitino called Walker, quote, the total package. And while Pitino supports his player's decision to go, he really isn't thrilled about the whole situation.
I don't agree with the way the whole thing is playing out in college basketball today. Quite frankly, I think the college game is in serious trouble. I think the NBA is in serious trouble in the long run. In the short run, the college game is going to suffer tremendously. And I think in the long run, the NBA is going to suffer. My reason for saying that is no longer are you going to have wonderful talent like Antoine Walker and Allen Iverson and Stephon Marbury reach their potential at the college game. I think television ratings are going to suffer tremendously. And I think right now it's a terrible system.
Well, Rick Pitino makes all good points. That's long term. Short term, a kid comes out and plays 17, 18 years old, not physically mature, and he has to go against a guy like you, Rick Mahorn. And, he's really going to take some punishment. Is he ready for that?
It's a lot of pounding. You got 82 games. It's not no more a 30-game schedule. You have travel. You have your apartment. You have your car. You have things you have to have responsibility for. It's a big jump.
Time to grow up in a hurry. And one thing we were talking about beforehand, before we went on the air, was the fact that maybe guys are coming in with different attitudes than they did even 10 years ago when rookies would come in and push ball racks back in the locker room after practice. You don't really see that anymore, do you?
No, you don't see that. I think we done got high tech. I mean, if you carry my laptop for me, things like that. But, guys have to come in with a professional attitude. And if they can't be professional, I mean, you know, you're wasting your time being in this league.
Yeah, well, there's no stopping it now. The floodgates are open. Up next on Inside, we're going to take a look at the other end of that conference call in the West. The mailman, is he ready to go postal in this series? And here's to you, Mr. Robinson. The spur of the moment has been outstanding. We'll dance their little dance next.
Tomorrow, the NBA playoffs continue when the Bulls host the Knicks for semifinal Game 2 at 9:30. But first, Game 1, Jazz Spurs, tomorrow at 7 on TNT.
You're no stranger to the sunrise. You know dedication is keeping a promise to yourself. You do what you dream about. You're going to Atlanta. What do you wear? Champion. Outfit of the U.S. Olympic team.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Need a few parts? Pep Boys has everything you need.
Have a nice weekend.
26,000 items at the guaranteed low price, tires and service too. Pep Boys, everything but gas.
Wow, how'd they do that?
Pennzoil Performax 100. 100% synthetic at a breakthrough price.
100% synthetic at a price this low? How'd they do that?
Leave it to Pennzoil to make synthetic affordable.
How'd they do that?
Hey, there's more. An extra $6 rebate on a case. Or $6 off on an oil change by the pros.
How'd they do that?
Pennzoil, a broadcast sponsor of NBC's coverage of the 1996 Olympic Summer Games.
How helpful are Ace Hardware dealers during helpful hardware days? Well, maybe not that helpful. But they will give you a little extra help at some extra big savings. You can't help but notice, Ace is a place with the helpful hardware folks.
Inside the NBA is brought to you by Foot Locker, the world's most complete athletic footwear store. Foot Locker, where it all begins.
And here's your Foot Locker play of the day. How about that Gary Payton, named NBA Defensive Player of the Year? A three-time defensive all-star. Here's a steal tonight against the Rockets and a basket and the foul. 2.85 steals a game along the way. Gary Payton, he's the glove. He's the Foot Locker play of the day. Well, what do you like at a playoff series? Talented big men, the Jazz and the Spurs, they got you covered. Great ball handling from the point guards, well, you're good there. In fact, there's not a whole lot of mystery in this Utah and San Antonio semi that begins Tuesday night at the Alamo Dome. Darren Kagan listens to the Jazz Club now, a day after they suffocated Portland in Game 5.
It sure doesn't get much uglier than this, as the Portland Trail Blazers break the NBA record for fewest points ever scored in a playoff game. But hidden among the Trail Blazers' dismal 12-point quarters is the story of the Utah bench. In the past, Utah has never had much support beyond Karl Malone and John Stockton. But this 5-game series showed that the Jazz do indeed have depth, and they're going to need it as they go on to face the San Antonio Spurs.
The guys have come off the bench, given us big lists, and carried us for long periods of time, even if Karl Malone's on the bench. And, we really need that. We're not an overpowering team. We need a lot of guys contributing and coming in and playing the way we know we can. You get guys that haven't played all year, and now all of a sudden they're thrown in there and they're making a statement. And that's how you get new contracts. When the bottom line is there, you get new contracts by coming out ready to play. And these guys have been ready to play. So I really, really respect the way our bench is playing right now. Like I've always said, people are going to pat you on the back. We won this series, but you go down and lose a game or two and they kick you in the butt. So we got to go out and continue to execute as a team. If we do that, we'll be just fine. But it's going to be a tough series.
They're very difficult to play. They're well coached, and they got some tough things to try to deal with. Number one, David Robinson, and of course Sean Elliott. Since they brought him over there, we haven't had much success with him at all. And they've got a lot of guys who can shoot the ball out on the perimeter, and that's one of our biggest weaknesses. I hope our guys realize the opportunity is there to play, and just see what happens.
All right, here's some numbers to think about as we head to the series. Spurs won the season series 3-1. The free throw attempts for the Spurs way up. Elliott's 24-7 average, his best against Western Conference foes. Meanwhile, Karl Malone's 19-8, his worst against the West. And pocket this, Avery Johnson averaged 8 assists to 4 turnovers. That's 2-to-1 ratio, and that's twice as poor as his normal 4-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio. And Avery Johnson, Rick called him a pretty simple team, the Utah Jazz. It's simple, but it's precise, and it's very effective, their style.
Well, pick and roll is the best play in basketball. I mean, out of all your options, if you go to the pick and roll and you have proper spacing on the weak side, you can't stop it. I mean, you got good shooters, and basically they have good shooters. They work from the inside out.
All right, now Utah will have its center, Felton Spencer. He had the Achilles problem last year. Can he just, body up on David Robinson and just get physical with him?
That's important. If he doesn't body up with him, I mean, plus you got Oyster Tag, you got a bench Antoine Carr. I mean, you have all these people that can come in there and body against David, but then you have David who's playing phenomenal in this whole series, and I mean, not the series, but start of the last series, he's playing great.
That Spurs team that really wants to prove something to everybody. All right, time to take that little golf cart to Promoville. It's a dog-leg left. Start Tuesday night on TNT. It is the Jazz and the Spurs, and they'll start at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, followed by the Knicks and the Bulls in their game, too, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time, and Inside the NBA will follow. Then on Wednesday night, on TNT, the Hawks and Orlando get it started at the Arena, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, and Inside the NBA, as always, will follow that broadcast. That's going to do it for now. Rick Mahorn and I will be together the next couple of nights. So thanks, Rick, for sitting in tonight, and I'll make sure I bring that bow in tomorrow.
I'll make sure I bring you that wig that I want you to wear.
Easy now. See, this is going to be fun. All right, we'll see you tomorrow night, everybody. So long.
Leading sports television into the 21st century.
Maybe the toughest of the 3 deficits they have faced.